And to better understand the significance of the growing ties between American and Chinese basketball, I'm joined here in the studio by Mark Gray. He is the host of The Fan, a sports radio talk show. Mark, welcome back to the broadcast.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
So I understand the biggest fan base now, international fan base for the NBA, is in China. What has started all of this? This has been growing for quite some time. Why the interest?
Because first off, Chinese basketball fans had an opportunity to witness the greatest collection of basketball talent during the Olympics. You've had the import of Yao Ming, who, had he not gotten injured, would have probably been one of the biggest players globally in the history of the game. And the fact that, you know, basketball, when played right, is a beautiful game. And quite frankly, the Chinese sports fan is a far more sophisticated sports fan than I think a lot of people around the world give him credit for.
So not just the interest in the NBA, but also former NBA players are now interested in playing in China. We have Stephen Marbury, obviously, who now has his own, what is it, postage stamp?
Yes.
A museum is being unveiled. He's playing with the Beijing Ducks, doing very well.
He's the Michael Jordan of Chinese basketball.
Absolutely. He's really started a trend here, and the pay is comparable. He'd been cut, obviously. The pay is comparable. Do you think we will see more players heading to China?
It's definitely a revenue stream, and it allows players to continue their basketball careers. I think that really the juxtaposition that really needs to take place, however, is in the domestic basketball development thing, where you put more young Chinese players in and groom the next Yi Jianliang, the next Yao Ming, to help it expand. But as far as the American players are concerned, quite frankly, what you're getting is the guy that's on the edge to being out of the game, more of a journeyman type right now. While it's good for them, I'm not quite sure it's the best interest for Chinese basketball.
Let's talk about the money behind it. ESPN is even expanding their broadcast over there, doing some in Mandarin, a potential gold mine.
Well, it's an incredible market. That's why you see so many sports franchises and leagues trying to invade China. That is an enormous revenue stream from, you start talking about merchandising, marketing. Part of the reason that there's such a interest amongst USA basketball players, I'm talking about the Dream Team or the Olympic team,
right,
gives them an opportunity to become global brands. We just had the Super Bowl here in the United States, the largest one-day sports event in America. But none of the players under those helmets are as big as, say, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Name your USA basketball player who goes over to China and does some really athletic things. And the NBA is a very smart marketing machine. They know how to play to generations. They know how to play to municipalities. And in this case, they know how to play to the largest market of potential fans and consumers. You know, those Chinese jerseys, when Yao Ming started playing over there, that was the #1 jersey just off the bat. And as long as that merchandising is selling, it's going to be a lucrative opportunity for the NBA.
Right, and so China won the Asian Basketball Association Championship, therefore qualifying them for the Olympics, the NBA, a huge influence here. When do you think we'll actually see the next all-star Chinese player in the NBA?
That's a good question, and again, it goes back to that development thing. You have 300 million people who are playing basketball right now, but are they getting coached up? So what the United States did back during the Cold War was use basketball as an export. They sent coaches to places like Russia and South America, and they did clinics. And I think that that's going to be the next generation, the right coaching, the right development, somebody to set a tone at the top. It will trickle down. There'll be some discipline. There'll be a constructive focus. And maybe within the next 10 to 20 years, you may see somebody at an elite level. I thought, again, if Yao Ming doesn't get hurt, we're talking about the boom in China. I think the next big China basketball player who comes over, whether it's Yao, whether it's Jeremy Lin, I think that's going to be the one that the fans over there can feel like we can reach out, we can touch him, he's one of us, and then you'll see that passion develop, and the next thing you know, you'll have a great basketball player.
We're excited about that. Mark Gray, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.